So what's the experience working at Google? What is in a timeline? How did
I
you?
had I had a great 11 years. It was a long time. It's particularly in my last role, I was traveling quite a bit, and I have children at home, and um, being gone so much was hard.
Yeah.
And I'm getting older, so I didn't want to spend as much time traveling around to different clients like I was. But I had a wonderful time. Challenged, felt like I was right in the middle of a lot of industry moving and industry shaking experiences. The culture is fantastic, so it was a really great experience. But I'm very, very happy now that I've made the pivot and I've committed myself to academia full time. I could not be happier. This is my role at Notre Dame is just truly what I was designed to do. So I'm very, very happy there.
So a lot of people want to join Google. What's the process? How to get a job at Google?
Yeah, there's no real secret. It's Google's very, very selective, just like any platform,
Yeah.
any big digital brand, right? I think that when we thought about candidates, we looked at a number of different criteria. And it involved us looking at them in terms of their leadership abilities, how they worked in teams, their whether or not they sort of demonstrated and embraced the cultural ideas that we have at Google of inclusion and teamwork, what their prior experience has been, if the roles that they had in the past were similar to, or at least taught them things that would make them successful in the roles that we had at Google, right? And then, frankly, just how curious they were, how mentally sharp they were, right? The ability to process information and make decisions. Those were sort of under different categories, the ways that we evaluated everyone. So if you want to get into Google, I would think really think about building stories from your past that demonstrate leadership, that demonstrate your ability to make decisions quickly, and demonstrate your ability to work very well in teams, and be prepared to tell stories from your past experience of successes and failures, things that you've learned from that have set you up to be successful at Google, right? And if you can do all that, Google may be the place for you.
Wow. Yeah, it's very selective, and so you have like a lot of big companies, you have a behavioral part, like you said, having your stories, a leadership skill, and then you have the technical, probably technical interview, depending on the role, right?
Yes. Yeah, the marketing and sales side of Google, so where I was working with brands and advertisers and driving that Google advertising business is different from the engineering side, where there are software engineers that are making the products. But still, we were looking for much the same things. It didn't matter if you were a software engineer or an account executive. You needed to culturally fit at Google. You needed to be a leader. You needed to have relevant and valuable experience, and you needed to have some mental acumen, right? To just move quickly. Because I'll say, Google's a wonderful place. It moves very, very fast.
Yeah.
And is very, very scaled. It does a tremendous amount of work with a very little, very small number of people, frankly. So to generate the kind of revenues and things that Google does, you could have several Googles full of people, right? Or the expectation may be that you do. So it for those reasons, it really matters where Google is bringing in, and as a result, they are very selective. But when you're there, it's a wonderful place.
So once you get in, how do you get promotions? How do you move up the ladder?
Yeah, it's a very look. There's a lot of very talented people, right? But I'd say the straightest line to success at Google is embracing its core values, being a good teammate, being collaborative, helping others, building your network, learning, who is in the company doing things that you find interesting that could help you, or you could help them, right? And like I said, Google's very, very scaled. So every single person has a tremendous scope that they're working under. And being able to handle that scope and being successful with that scope usually means that you're not doing it alone.
Mhm.
You're gaining help. So having those connections and is really important. I think that's what I strove to do. That's what I feel like I did very well by building a real big network at Google. And it really helped me be successful there for 11 years.
Yeah, that's working in its in an environment where you have the what we call like creme de la creme. Everybody's
Yeah,
smart.
yeah,
That's so interesting. That's a great life experience. And wow. And so
yeah.
you go in, you get your story right, you apply online like everybody else, and then you compete, you get in, you work with as a team and try to build products, try to have impact, fit in the culture. And then, so what's the life after Google looks like?
I mean, it opens a lot of opportunities, I think, and for that
Yes.
reason, like one is because you are as a Google employee, like I said, you have such a big scale, you are learning so much, and you're doing so much
Mhm.
that really, I think that is a great training ground for whatever you wanted to do. And it clearly there's a pretty has a pretty good reputation in the
Yes.
world as well. So it that doesn't hurt having it on your resume. But for me, the pivot into teaching full time and working at a university like the University of Notre Dame was just a no brainer. It's something that I love to do. I love to be involved with problem solving and nurturing students' curiosity and helping them learn from all the experiences that I've had over my life. So it's something that is a wonderful next chapter for me following my time at Google.
Yeah, that's I really, like what Google do, especially the business model. Like they give you 15 gig at Gmail for free,
Yeah,
and
yep,
you get
yeah, they know what they're
used to
doing.
it. Exactly, they don't have to do it. They give you, you're doing search YouTube for free. It's just amazing to be part of that. The mission is just so, interesting.
Yeah,
But as someone originally from Africa, I wanted to ask you about Google Africa. What's the vision of Google for continent like Africa, or
I
to
would not be able to say.
for other
There are people who would say much better than I, but I had some wonderful exchanges and interactions with people in Joburg, in Cape
right,
Town,
right,
that worked for Google. I worked on a few projects with them. I presented to some of their clients in some events that they put together. Just super smart, super bright people
right.
that I am so much better for knowing and working with. But as for the long term
Yeah.
goals and objectives, that was always above my pay grade at Google.